Bronwyn.
Is it true? Are you the king we were promised?
In The Rings of Power Episode 6, Halbrand may not be the monarch he claims to be, despite Galadriel's convictions. Since the third episode of the series, Galadriel has been convinced that the person she met on the Sundering Seas is the legitimate heir to the Southlands crown. She is adamant that Sauron may be vanquished by assisting Halbrand's ascent to power. Galadriel seems certain in her claim that Halbrand is the rightful ruler of the Southlands, despite the fact that he initially made no assertions regarding his claim to the throne. He became crucial to her intentions once certain information tied him to the title, and was uncovered in Episode 3. Halbrand was initially apprehensive, but it appears that he has developed a fresh passion for fulfilling Galadriel's objective. When he told Bronwyn that he really was the king of the Southlands in The Rings of Power Episode 6, he demonstrated his acceptance of Galadriel's ideals. However, worries that Galadriel might be mistaken about Halbrand continue. In certain ways, Halbrand's tale resembles The Rings of Power's unique Aragorn narrative in certain ways. Both are described as being human beings who are predestined to lead heroic lives and restore their respective kingdoms. In The Lord of the Rings, Aragorn's reconciliation of Rohan and Gondor was essential to defeating the villains. It at least seems like Halbrand and the Southlands share this similar necessity in The Rings of Power. So far, it looks like the central threat in the series is Sauron, whom Galadriel is desperately searching for. Since Halbrand's taking his place as the king of the Southlands has to happen before Galadriel can get the army she needs to take on the Dark Lord, his storyline is currently the backbone of Season 1. With the exception of the Episode 4 sequence where he betrays Galadriel to Pharazôn, Halbrand hasn't really done much to support the fans' suspicions of him. Nevertheless, there are still many grounds for suspicion that he is lying. To begin with, Halbrand is a completely new character in the Lord of the Rings mythology. Everything about him is therefore cloaked in mystery. Halbrand's circumstances differ from those of other Middle-earth figures, such as Galadriel, Elrond, Prince Durin, and Isildur, in that they are undetermined. Because of that characteristic, Halbrand would be the ideal choice for a shocking villain twist. The Rings of Power could theoretically transform him into a forger without contradicting the Lord of the Rings mythology. Furthermore, it's important to keep in mind that the Rings of Power has not yet provided evidence that Halbrand is the legitimate ruler of the Southlands. Galadriel didn't need the necklace, or what Halbrand had said about his background, yet it shouldn't be ruled out that he might have been lying about it. Halbrand might deceive Galadriel into assisting him in assuming power. Halbrand might have a complicated plan to bribe Galadriel, and Enmenor into handing him a kingdom, using them as unwitting pawns. Two Tolkien personalities stand out in terms of Halbrand's true identity, if he proves to be a well-known character in The Lord of the Rings. The Witch King of Angmar is one choice. In the novels, the leader of Sauron's henchmen was originally a human king who had fallen victim to one of the Rings of Power. But the most popular hypothesis is that Halbrand is none other than Sauron. Since the twist in Episode 3, people have conjectured that Galadriel's real adversary is actually hidden in plain sight as her new friend and is hoping to use her quest to beat him for his own gain. However, as the plot progressed, the show provided moving scenes in which Halbrand appeared to be a sad soul burdened by the fate Galadriel keeps bestowing upon him. Nevertheless, Sauron theories have endured since it has been asserted that during this time in the Lord of the Rings storyline, Sauron has retreated from his role as a villain. It's possible that Sauron tried to leave his troubled history behind, but in the end he decided to accept the bright future Galadriel had provided for him. If that is truly what is going on, The Lord of the Rings of Power may be setting up one of the most startling betrayals in Middle East. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to comment, subscribe, and give us a like. Subscribe